Everybody, welcome back. I've had some requests for me to give some examples of literary terms that I think would be helpful for you to know for quiz 2 coming up. And so I quickly slash obsessively kind of made this list to help you out. A lot of these are very general terms. A lot of them you have under your belt already, and any decent dictionary.com definition of them will totally suffice. Wikipedia is fine for them as well too. You will not be asked to define any of these on there, but remember when you're doing the commentary part of the quiz, putting one of these terms into each sentence helps make sure that you're showing me that you're really looking under the hood and you're pulling apart the engine and all that good stuff. So I'll quickly run through them. These will also be available on the week 11 materials. Anyway, fiction terms, we've read a lot of fiction. Really standard stuff. Character, protagonist, antagonist, plot, and its various elements. Ooh, I forgot to put in denouement or denouement. I know the English majors will like to use the word instead. Oh my God, look, it's doing that. It's messing up my terms. Okay, it's okay. I'm gonna keep moving with this. Characters, flat versus round, static versus dynamic are nice distinctions to make. Point of view, whether it's first person or third person, those tend to be the most common. Setting, time and place. And then general literature terms that you can see in fiction and in poetry include things like imagery, language that accesses our senses, how something looks, sounds, feels, smells, tastes. And then we have figurative language, which includes metaphor, metonymy, simile, personification. Metonymy is really just a special kind of metaphor. Theme, tone, symbol, style. Style tends to be something a little bit different from the rest of them. Theme, tone, and symbol we've already talked about when we talked about SIFT. Theme is the large idea being explored in a work of literature. Tone is that emotional or mental dimension. Symbol being, an object or some kind of element in literature that represents or stands in for something else. Now, style is really about diction, which is word choice, and syntax, which is sentence structure. And style can be represented in a series of adjectives such as formal, informal, conversational, professional, immature, well-read. It can relate to other elements such as tone, but it really is more about what specific kind of language is trying to convey that idea. In poetry terms, this is a huge list. The ones that I really think you should know already would be ballad. We've seen some of that in the Harlem Renaissance literature. Blank verse we've seen in Robert Frost. Free verse we've seen, of course, with Walt Whitman, but that won't be on this quiz. I think we've seen a whole lot of free verse. Sonnet, we saw a bit with Claude McKay, Villanelle, we haven't talked about yet. All this other stuff we didn't really get into, so I won't worry about this. Language and sound terms are just about how the words affect us. Alliteration and assonance and consonants are all about the repetition of vowel sounds or consonant sounds. Onomatopoeia are words that sound like the actual thing they're standing in for. Anyway, the whole point here is that you can mix these up any way you want. Just make sure you're using them correctly, and that's going to help add extra precision to your quiz commentary sections. Stay tuned, and I'll have the next video up for you shortly.